Yeah, I went through a phase. I dabbled in it. I just kind of read the basics of it. Well, I'm always in a meditative state. I'm in a meditative state right now. I don't go and do meditation. I am meditation for the most part, except for yesterday. I got really pissed off. But it happens. But then you laugh at yourself and you go, okay, next. I slipped up. Next, move on. It wasn't my fault. It was my fucking banks. Yeah, they screwed me.
What about hypnosis? I heard you.
I love I'm a fan. I'm Hypnotica.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I built myself from. Like, because me, I was like, what do I want to do? So I learned hypnosis because I want to do hypnosis. I can create what I want because I want to reinforce. Like, if you're not reinforcing your dream, you have to fight for your dream. You know, my level, you constantly got to fight for your dream. So why not create something that's just what I want to hear, to go in my subconscious mind, to flush out all the negative bullshit I'm watching on the news and everything else going around. Like, it's my own thing. What do I want? So I create it and I listen to it. Every product I've ever created is because I needed it. Collection of Confidence, it was something that I wish I had when I was growing up. We didn't have anything. We had nothing. And you went out there and did your thing. When I had to do a fucking book report, I had to go to the fucking library and put a dime in and take a photocopy of one little dog. Now you got the internet. It wasn't around back then, so it was out of necessity. And like I said, when you sit down, you're like, what do you want? Like my original script book, if you've ever seen it, I did it years ago, My Perfect Girl, 7 pages. My Mentality, three pages. And it was like exactly what I wanted, just, you know, do that. And I read it over and over and over, put it in my conscious mind. I knew that it was just, I would start to do that. I went back and looked at it. Everything that I put in that book came true. I was laughing because I was looking at my money thing. I'm like, I want to make $75 an hour. I was like, fuck, I didn't cross that out because I was updating. I'm like, fuck that shit. That's how it happens. And you read it over and over and over and you get it in your mind. If you're not taking that 30 seconds to kind of like steer and plan where you want to take it, like I said, it's not a structured thing. It's more like a compass, you know, because you never really know. It's kind of like the Rolling Stones song, Satisfaction. You can't always get what you want, but you're going to get something pretty close. You're just kind of going in that direction. When the symbols or the things come, you get them. You pick them up. If you don't pick them up, then you don't get them. Every single time, it's really weird. Every single time I was like, I don't want to go out tonight. I'm feeling kind of tired. And I was like, fucking shut up. Let's go. You get up. Every single time I was initially not wanting to go out is when I made super major important contacts in my life. It's very counterintuitive. It's always like the counterintuitive things that are the important things. It's easy to sit down and eat a meal. It's counterintuitive to make a meal. It's easy to spend money real quickly. You know, it's like, quick, how do you do that? It's counterintuitive to save your money. It's always the counterintuitive that you want to look at and go, okay, yeah, like I'm going to go above and beyond what I'm used to and try something new. So, like I said, these are just little things I've learned along the way.
How can we do hypnosis? Can we do that on ourselves?
You can. It's your voice, so you're going to listen to yourself. I get like a recorder, anything. Get some music and just, you know, I'd write down first what it is you want. Hypnosis isn't a thing, okay? Hypnosis is a state of process that happens automatically. You do it automatically. It's all of a sudden we're like, hypnosis, all of a sudden, oh, this, and we do the TikTok, and I walk like a zombie. No, it happens all the time. Every 90 minutes you go into what they call Ukrainian rhythm, which your brain downloads information. It happens automatically. So you're already in that state when you're driving along and you pass the exit, you're like, whoa, shit, it was like 5 miles ago. That was a state of hypnosis. When you're in a movie theater and time went by, you were in hypnosis. Hypnosis is any other state than the one you're in right now. My definition of hypnosis is simply communicating ideas successfully across to the unconscious mind so that it gets it. All it is communicating ideas. If I say something to you and you get it and it makes sense, that was hypnosis. So it's not some mystical ass thing. It's simply suggestion going to your mind. And you can listen to it over and over and over, and you know, sometimes people resist it, and then one day you're a little tired and boom, it goes in. So it's the consistency. Every day, 30 minutes, just plan where you want to go and write it down and think about it or do questions to it. I always do that stuff. When I lax, I can get away with it for a while, and then I start noticing I get unfocused, and compared to like every day, I just stick to it. If you're doing goals and stuff like that, like when's the best time to do goals?
First thing in the morning, last thing at night. Yep.
First thing to do is to plan the goals the night before. That way when you sleep, your mind is starting to run over these things. So it's like, hey, I gotta go do this, 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 and this. So you read it, like you don't want to start your day, like you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and do goals. Okay, it's like energy stops. But if you do them before, the night before, and you wake up and your mind's gestated on it through the night, and all of a sudden you wake up, you already know what you're doing, you're like, okay, go to the bank, do this, do this. So you're already kind of in motion, and the energy's moving, compared to like, what am I gonna do today? Like, think about that, like you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna sit down and write down my goals. What happens to the energy? Okay, now think about doing it the night before, so you dream about it, your mind's working, like how's that gonna come? And you wake up and you already have your list, and you're like, cool, first thing, bam. Think about the energy in motion, how that works. You try that, it's pretty impressive.
What about doing it the night before, and then you wake up in the morning and you rewrite it?
I don't know, unless in the middle of the night you change your goal.
Brian Tracy suggests every single morning, he says he's got a notepad, and He doesn't look at the day before. He rewrites the top 10 goals every single day, and you don't look at the day before. And they evolve as you go along, but that way your mind is continually reprocessing it, and you're not just reading and go, yeah, okay, I know those.
I believe that.
Forcing yourself to go.
You know, writing while you write your goals down. You know, not only
Psychoneuromuscular.
yeah, but think about it. It's the first thing that you're actually putting something physical from your mind, physical, into the world, manifesting it. So when you write it down, you're actually bringing that to the physical world externally. Okay, when you write it down, it also involves a lot of neurosynapses and shit like that. But it's the first thing. It's the smallest micro step of you manifesting that in the physical form. Because you're writing it down. That is a process of discovering that. And I agree with him. Like the more you look at it, the more you develop it, the better it's going to be. But you got to find out what works for you. I'll try everything, man. Like some shit, just doesn't work. Some stuff that I say may not work for you, and that's okay. That's why you got to learn to experiment a little bit until you find your own groove, and then you're like, okay, cool. Like your world works for you, your way. Like my wife hates it. I go outside and I pee. I don't even pee in the bathroom. The break, I went outside in the back and peed. Okay, but it's your way of doing things because you like to do it. Really, it's not hurting anyone. You know?
Surprised.
No, don't be surprised. Trust me. You don't want to be my neighbor, dude. Trust me.
But you usually go back and out to pee.
I go pee wherever.
Yeah, but do you sit when you pee then?
Do I sit when I pee?
Yeah.
No, I stand when I pee.
Because everybody's talking about if you pee like regular standing up, you get
Yeah.
really easily prostate cancer.
Next life, when I have a vagina, I'll sit. But now I stand. I practice my handwriting.
So I think you never been like a second floor apartments or anything.
Well, yeah, I don't try not to do that where I can hit somebody. You know, it's always my own entertainment.
When you're talking about your script, writing out your woman in life, everything like that, how often do you like upgrade that? Like, is it every couple of years you redo that?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. What's funny about when you do that is you'll read through it and you're like getting the juice. You're feeling it like, yeah, I'm motivated by that. And then sometimes the juice kind of goes away and you're like, it's kind of neutral. That's the time to rephrase it. You know, I love going out and meeting women and you're writing it down and all of a sudden you lose the energy to it. Then it's like, you know, hey, I enjoy making women laugh and have a good time, and all of a sudden maybe that connects with it. So you're always kind of shifting it, and I always change it. Like if you write it down, I've done this before where, you know, I'll write it over and over. I'll just write it. It's a lot of work, but all of a sudden one of the phrases doesn't seem to fit because your mind adjusted already, you know, subtly. And so if you adjust here and you adjust here and you adjust here and you adjust here, pretty soon it starts to get the bigger picture. So it's that constant, like, you know, just rewriting and all of a sudden going, yeah, you know what, this doesn't, it's just, I don't feel the juice in it anymore. That's time to upgrade it and change it. So you do feel the juice, and the constantly doing that over and over, it's extremely powerful because it's self-evolving.
So you don't like there's not a point with that writing exercise where you get to a finished product. That's just
I've
like
never got to a finished product.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Never got to a finished product. I get to somewhere I feel good about it, and I'll read it, and then sometimes when I look back at it, there'll be cross marks in. I'll be like, I can say this better, or I can say this there, and things like that. So
cool.
It's a cool process, especially when you're like, oh, it's just a matter of writing it out and doing it.
What do you take on the visualization, the law of attraction and stuff?
I can't visualize really well. Okay? Now, what I'm saying is, since I've eaten good, I'm starting to get better visualization skills, which kind of led me to that theory of, you know, you start getting to this point where now my brain is starting to like have more energy, and maybe it's that energy that's raising to kick in my pineal gland to start visualizing more. But I always trick myself out of it. That's why I created like the questions. I can ask a question. I have to kind of feel what that feels like to be in that situation. These things that I hear where I walk through, you know, I have to feel what that reality would feel like. You know, what would I feel like if I had to say, sorry ladies, I've already got 4 girls. Okay, like I have to feel that and I have to sense that in order to process it. So I try to like trick myself like that. I'm not, like I said, up to this point in time, I should say, I haven't ever been able to visualize very well. You know, so I go to the kinesthetics, I go to another sense and try to tie that in. I hope you enjoy the randomness of this presentation and stuff like that. I will be available. I do have a friend here I'm going to work with real quick, right? And crank it out. And I'll be back, you know, a little bit later, and I'll be here probably in the morning. So if you have any questions, great. And I hope you got something out of it.
Do you have a website?
I have my website. It's geared pretty much towards dating till probably 3 months from now when I open it up to all the stuff that I do.
What is it? It's the same page as calling on.
Yeah, hypnotica.org.
What did you used to charge for Sphinx of the Mind?
What I used to charge?
Yeah. Or like what did it start at?
I think it was like $29.95.
I pirated it once.
Take your money.
No, seriously.
Hey, go do something good.
No, seriously. There's no like.
No, it's a call. I appreciate honesty.
I just never thought I'd ever meet someone in person that I'd actually download something for free.
See, now you just got rewarded for honesty, so how much more honest can you be?
How much more honest?
Yeah, now you just got rewarded for it. Feels good, right?
Oh,
Huh? There you go. I appreciate the gesture of, I appreciate honesty.
I might not have made the gesture if I hadn't enjoyed it.
That's all right, you know, it really wouldn't work out well when you pirated anyways. You never heard the subtle suggestions I put in.
The whole gate thing.
It was actually called the Sphinx Tour of imagination. You never got that part? I appreciate the gesture, though. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. With that said, guys, I hope you